A Mother's Podcast is your weekly dose of two moms navigating life and rewriting the motherhood blueprint.
We're here to give you our real and unfiltered opinions on life's most complex topics.
All truth, no sugarcoating, on Muvas.
Ooh, honey.
You ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
I don't know, sis. I haven't talked to you since last week, but the way you're coming today, I was not prepared. Okay.
You didn't have to do me like that. You almost made me spit out my drink.
You didn't have to do me like that because you're treating me like I'm an extra. Okay. You let me know my role.
You did ask if we were recording, and I thought that was cue for, are we going to do a lip and a little face? I thought that's what that meant.
I thought we was giving them the natural. It's late night. I just met my homegirl vibes. Let's link up. Let's talk this talk.
You know, I'm gonna do better because I was given it's late night and I got that text vibes. So you know what? Sometimes I'm on the wrong page, but that's all right. I'm gonna get it right for next week.
Are you sure?
I promise.
Okay, well, since we're talking about the future week, how was last week? How was your week, sis?
Last week was really good. I don't have too much to report on. All is well. Same old with the lockdown. I will give a little shout out to my new favorite social media platform, the little TikTok. They did a blackout today because Black content creators were getting muted or their content was getting deleted off of TikTok. So today, Black content creators took over TikTok with a hashtag, and they were all on the For You page, which is the main home screen. So it was really nice to see Black and brown creators and, you know, getting the credit for the things that they've done. So that was really cool. How was your week?
My week has been good. So, you know, last week I was furloughed for the week.
Right.
A gift and a curse. Okay. I kept getting emails and I wanted to answer them, but I was like, oh, I'm not getting paid for this. So you're gonna doing shit. This week come back and it's been full swing. Today was my grandmother's 80th birthday. I just knew I was gonna take her some surprise lunch because she lives right up the street from me now. Nah.
What do you mean no?
No, couldn't do it. I was stuck in a 3-hour meeting with our developers in India. Like they were up, girl. It was 1 a.m. there and we expected them to work. Couldn't have been your girl. I would have went to sleep on the phone. No late nights for your girl.
Understood. Well, happy birthday to Granny. She is so beautiful. And that is clearly where you get that flawless skin from.
What we doing? We doing Jill and Erica again this week?
It's a whole vibe. That's going to be every week for the rest of
it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, you're beautiful.
You're beautiful, queen.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. I love when we get to link up and we're recording for the show, but this is really our catch-up session. We have a weekly catch-up session and it's like therapy for us. So what are we talking about tonight?
Girl, let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that can be. Let's talk about sex. Oh, you know what I used to get popped for singing?
I hope it was that song.
Ooh, I wanna sex you up.
Girl. You couldn't tell me that I was not performing to that song. Okay, you could have gave me an Emmy.
I was rolling these little hips. I don't know what I was doing, but I was rolling something, honey.
Shouldn't have been watching that movie is what you shouldn't have been doing.
I shouldn't have. But you know, you're supposed to be asleep and you creep down the steps and look over the banister and don't nobody catch you watching. I saw a whole bunch of stuff I wasn't supposed to be seeing.
And I have to. All right, well, let's dive into it. Let's talk about it because this week has been real messy.
Yes.
Real messy.
Yeah, so we're going to circle back real quick because, you know, we already done told y'all our opinion on Boosie when he was out here giving advice to people and how they raise their children. I distinctly recall telling y'all that Boosie was out here soliciting women for his children, grown women for his little ones. So that came back up in the news last week. I'm not even sure why it came back up in the news last week, but Boosie was back in media and he was, on video admitting to allowing his 12-year-old, at the time, 12-year-old son and nephews to partake in sexual activities with grown women. He was soliciting the women, I guess, paying for them and testing out the women and then pushing the women onto his son and nephews. And he said that there's nothing wrong with that. That's how he grew up. That's, what they do down there in Louisiana. And listen, it's a rough week for Louisiana, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
Girl.
But we already done told y'all, don't take no advice. And he's very lucky that them CPS folk ain't show up on his doorstep.
So I fell in love with Boosie in 2010. Okay. I listened to his album. I was dating a little nigga back in Richmond, Virginia. They love Boosie down there. I was dating him.
About right.
So he had put me on. He put me on to the Boosie vibes. And I was really into it. I was really feeling him. And he became my man. Okay. I was married to Torrance Hatch. I watched his whole documentary. When he got locked up, I wore the same grippies that he had on in preparation for the sentence that we were going to get that day. Okay. That was my man. But the way he parent these kids, baby, it's a lot of hurt. It's a lot of anger. It's a lot of emotions bottled up because you could tell that he was not shown the correct way or the correct love at a young age. 12-year-old getting hit.
And he just, he's talking about it like it's okay. He said it as if, he was defending himself as if we were wrong and he was going to convince us that that was okay. And I'm very sure, because if we talk to some of our male friends, I'm very sure that some of them were having sexual encounters at 10, 12, what have you. And some of them with grown women. They'll tell you their mama's friends or somebody around the family or whatever. But it's not okay. And we don't talk enough about young men and how they're exposed to sex and why they treat sex the way that they do. If this is how you're exposed to it at a young age, I can understand why a lot of men are the way they are when it comes to, intercourse.
Definitely. I remember I don't even know when little boys just go from being cute little kids that play outside and play sports all day to being the cute little kids they just want pussy all the time. I don't know where that light switch gets turned on. But I remember 6th or 7th grade, that's when the boys started talking about what they was really doing, but they know they wasn't doing it. Because I used to talk a mean game too, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I got a mouthpiece like a nigga. I'm going to tell you that I did X, Y, and Z, but honey, I ain't did shit until the 8th grade. And even then in the 8th grade, I shouldn't have been doing nothing in the first place, but I'm kissing boys in parties.
Mm. So I think that's exactly the age because, my oldest son, he he's finishing his first year of middle school. I remember that transition from 5th grade to 6th, where it was completely innocent and he wasn't really talking about any of those things. I got him his phone the end of his 5th grade year going into 6th grade. And it was all PG. Actually, it was just G. There was nothing going on. Girl, I went through that phone one day. He was talking about how all the girls are on his D. And
wait a minute, nephew. Wait a minute.
He put the emoji and everything. I was like, wait 1 second. What do you mean?
What they was doing on it? What you said they was on it? What was they doing when they got on it?
You know good well, won't nobody doing nothing on it. But he definitely was, hyping himself up to his friends. Then he had one young female friend that was checking for him very hard to the point where she texted him at 7 a.m. asking if he was coming to school that day so she could plan her outfit. And then one day she texted him asking what street he lived on because apparently she lived in the neighborhood and wanted to come by the house. And he was, oh, honey, yes. Because there's a window of time, about 2 hours, 2 good hours when he gets out of school where he's home by himself when, normal conditions, not COVID, right? And between when I get home. So during those 2 hours, he's, to do his homework, start his laundry, any chores that he needs to get done, he does. So that when I get home, all I have to do is check his homework and, start dinner and tend to his younger siblings. This was, being tested out because it was his first year in middle school. He is allowed to stay home in the state for at least up to 3-4 hours. So we, 2 hours it's nothing. But he was very, he played it cool. He didn't say, oh no, my mama. He was just like, oh no, I've got so-and-so as a neighbor and they'll call my mom. Don't come over here.
As long as you know, because it better not been a night that we was gonna record.
Listen.
Come on, nephew.
Honey. So it's rough because when I was coming up, I always thought it was the boys. You got to look out for the boys. But now that I have both a girl and boys, I see that it's both, and they're starting real early because I wasn't really having those conversations in 6th grade, but I do remember people talking about touching and feeling and stuff like that. I just wasn't a part of those conversations. I was awkward. I don't think I was a part of those conversations until high school. So I just see it, younger and younger. And so I'm like, my antennas are up for my daughter who's, transitioning now into 5th grade. It's scary.
It's I don't even want to think about it because the girls is just too young for me to even. I just feel like I know what I was doing or what I was talking about doing, whether I was doing it or not. I feel like my girls ain't gonna have no leeway. Ain't gonna be nothing you can pull over my eyes, honey.
But see, that's the thing. They always think that they're so slick, and that they're slicker than you. And to an extent, the way that social media platforms pop up, there's always something new that you have to catch. But we're also millennial parents who are always into that new tech, whatever, that new app, that new whatever. Whereas our parents were on the fringe. So they went through your phone, through your text messages, but they didn't know to check Instagram, to check Snapchat because you can delete stuff. And you know what I mean? Like my parents wouldn't have ever thought to check all that stuff. They just looking at the text message, the call history, and maybe who on FaceTime and maybe Facebook because they have Facebook. But if I wanted to hide stuff, if I were in their home with all of what we have access to now, I would know where to hide it because I would know where they're not looking.
Exactly.
So, but I will tell you, funny story. I really didn't know what I was talking about when we were talking about sexual acts in school, girl, because I didn't know what oral sex was.
I can't wait to hear this story.
I thought that people were saying royal sex.
It was an honor. you were here with the majesty. Okay, it's an honor.
So I thought it was like the super romantic sex that you have. Like they lay out the red carpet and there's rose petals and candles. It's royal sex. It's like the sex that kings and queens have. This is royalty.
Oh, you had a little stones by the door and shit. Oh, you was popping. You was popping if that's what you thought, girl.
Boy. When I learned the truth, I was just like, oh, okay. Didn't know a thing. So it's important to teach your children. Again, I don't know what's going on with these Southern parents. T.I., Boosie. I don't know. It's important to teach them and to be able to have open dialogue so that they can come to you. But to be in the room teaching them or to solicit for young children, that's pedophilia. So,
yeah, I can't. I don't want to say it and sound like I'm taking up for Boosie at all. I just feel like him having to defend himself. You really should be teaching him why this is wrong instead of him feeling like he just got to go on the defense and everybody attacking him, because there has to be a reason why he thinks this way. Like, what was done to you as a child, Boosie, that you think that it's okay? Because I can imagine just by being one of his biggest fans. He wanted to be like his daddy. He was in the streets. He was with his uncles, all of that. You grow up with your older uncles. You one of the boys. You're trying to fit in. You live in that type of life. You're trying to prove yourself as a man at a young age. And for him, being like the man of the house, he was trying to prove himself maybe. I feel like a lot of the times kids get into the situations because they're trying to prove themselves. Like, I'm grown now. I'm grown. Let me show you how many bitches I can hit today.
Right.
I'm grown. This older lady, she 30 and I'm 15. I'm a fucker. And she gonna love me like my mama. She gonna give me the love my mama not giving me. Because that's a lot of the times where it stems from when younger kids go to the older person is they trying to find that love that they didn't have somewhere. Because we talked about this. Ain't shit that a 25-year-old and a 13-year-old should be talking about. Fuck is y'all? What is y'all relating on? It ain't shit you can relate on. Or
At all.
you can relate on sex. No, you can't. You ain't got that much experience in the game. You ain't been fucking nobody for real. 25.
But see,
30.
that's why I'm not surprised. Like, I'm going to condemn the actions because to me the actions are wrong. But I'm not necessarily condemning Boosie because I'm not surprised. I had uncles, they're, God rest their souls, they're, all passed away, but I had uncles from North Carolina that were like that talked to my male cousins about who they were booking and, what your little girlfriend. They were talking about, my 8-year-old cousins. Oh, he got a little girlfriend. Now,
hate that shit, boy.
One of the little nieces. Now, you better not.
Nah, don't talk to her. She better not look at you like that. I'm gonna kill a nigga straight up. They do X, Y, Z. Yeah. No, my nigga, it's the same thing. Ain't no double standards to this shit.
Right. So that's why I'm not surprised. I heard those things coming up. So, I heard them talking about what my male cousins would do. And, one of my male cousins, he got a girl pregnant when he was a teenager. And while we were all, not we as in me, I didn't care. I was a child. But while my aunties were disgraced by it, my uncles were, it worked. That thing worked.
That boy fucking, what's up?
Right.
Boy
He's
fucking.
feeling himself. What?
Boy fucking. He beating it. That boy beating that. Yeah.
Honey.
Got a baby out here.
So, none of this is to condemn him directly because there is a disconnect with how he was raised and what he's passing on to his children. And I'm sure that there is a community of people. It ain't just Boosie that thinks that way. There's a community of people who he's surrounded by that think that way and who raise their children that way. So I'm not condemning him, but I am condemning the actions. I've seen it, so I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah, nah, for real. But who else is wild in Louisiana? Because you said Louisiana was going crazy this week. What's going on?
Everybody in Louisiana wilding. So your homeboy, Kevin Gates, girl, who
I love me some Gates.
I've actually come around to him, and it's not because of him, it's because of Drika. I really, really, really like Drika. Why are you rolling your eyes?
Girl, I don't care for her.
Really?
Mm-mm.
We're gonna have to have a conversation about that.
Let's talk about it.
Okay, why don't you like Drika?
It's not that I don't like her, okay, because I was a Drika fan as well. I copied one of her birthday shoots for my one of the photo shoots I did anyway. I like her. I think she's very humble. I think she's a writer, but I think she's dumb as shit.
Oh.
Okay. Because she the type, like, I seen this one video where she was like, it wasn't me that Kevin was talking about in these songs. I never once cheated on Kevin. I'm always been 100 to Kevin. Blase, he not talking about me when he talk about these women in these songs. Blase. Okay, he won't talk about you. So then Kevin, being the gracious Muslim man he is, strong in the body, king of all kings, praises due to Allah, who is the highest power. Kevin comes out with a song earlier this year, late last year, apologizing for all the women that he done fucked on while he was in this relationship with Drika. Okay, apologize. Talking about how he made her look dumb. We ain't know that, Kevin. I guess people knew that if they was fucking on him. Well, we ain't know that. You ain't had to do that. You ain't had to do that like that. You didn't. Furthermore, what you see this week, sis?
Ma'am, her whole sex tape.
Was it a tape or was it a snippet?
It was a snippet. It was a little snippet that made its way around Black Twitter and then the internet at large. And in all honesty, I wouldn't even call it that because, honey, he won't really do nothing. Listen, I started listening to Gates over the past year or so. I mean, especially since we have been talking because, you show the clips of music that you're listening to. So I may not say nothing, but I'll go and add it to my little ratchet playlist. Be bouncing on my way to work. Okay.
I love it.
So, but the stuff that he talks about, it won't nothing that he was doing in that video. The young lady was doing all of the work. I don't know who that young lady was, but she had to do all of the work and you couldn't really see much. So nope. I was not impressed. It was a disappointment. Listen, if you're going to cheat on me, And we don't know when the video was taken. Let's be fair. I don't know when that video came out or when it was. Well, I know when it came out, but I don't know when it was recorded. So it could have been years ago. Who knows? But he and Drika have been on and off for years. So there is a good chance that he was cheating. Possibly. Mm-hmm. We don't know. Allegedly. Mm-hmm. However, if you're going to have me out here looking stupid with a sex tape in these streets, you better be blowing homegirl back out so all of these girls don't. You already cheating. Or making me look stupid with video all in the streets. Now everybody know you giving lame dick. No.
So I don't know if I could call it lame dick though.
Well, it wasn't.
Okay, he's definitely not big general. So I posted that on Facebook. He's not big general. He might be major.
No, he a captain.
Oh, okay. He could be captain. Okay, he's definitely not big general. Definitely not a big speaker. None of that. Okay, you might have been a little speaker from what you was giving me. Okay,
it didn't have no weight on it
because I didn't listen to the songs. The whole dick you down, dick you down, dick you down. Like what you was doing, Kat? You was standing there. She was throwing it back. But I do like how she was talking. She kept saying yes, sir. In the video. So you got some mind games. What's your mouthpiece like, Kevin? Because you got people talking about yes, sir, mid-stroke. What's going on? What are you talking about? What you doing?
I mean, but I felt like watching that was a part of her performance because you have to realize the camera was on. So we don't know who she is, but
action baby.
The video came out and there was an angle where you could catch my face and I'm in a video. Oh, honey, you go. I'm playing a role.
Okay. What you mean? The camera on? I'm getting filthy.
You're not gonna say I was whacked.
Gonna get disgusting, okay? I don't care what your homeboy told you. He said, "Oh, Ariel was lazy when I hit her." Okay, cool. When this video,
that's the energy I gave him.
That's the energy I gave him. But tonight, you put a camera on. Oh, it's a camera on.
That red light. Okay.
Hey, we need to do what we need to do. You about to meet Lawan tonight.
So no, that was her. I think she was putting that on. I don't necessarily believe that she was doing that because she was so into it. I feel like she was playing her position. She gotta hype it up. Oh, it's so good. Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. She gotta play her role.
Wait a minute, since you didn't hype it up before like that? What's going on?
I have. Sometimes you have to. You gotta hurry that thing up and get it over with. Get off of me.
Oh. Get back. The people say get back.
I'm telling you, they like it when you get hype. Get real hype. Be done quick.
The males aren't the only people out here wilding right now because Queen B, do no wrong, Queen B.
Listen.
On that demon time, I might start my OnlyFans.
She co-signing, okay?
Okay, so this is what I did. Because I don't like to report on nothing that I don't know about.
You started an OnlyFans?
Oh, yeah, girl, I signed up.
What you got on there?
Girl, I took it down after I had signed up. I just wanted to see what the process was like. What was it going for? What was it doing? First of all, OnlyFans is legit, bitch, and that is a legit occupation because you got to put your government issue ID up there beside your face.
Are you serious?
Yeah, girl, that's if you're trying to get coins, okay? It's no slouch work going on in these streets. You have to really put your photo ID up with your face for verification. And you have to enter your bank information on how you want to get paid. Then you set your prices. They will auto post for you if you need. You can do like peak videos and peak, photos and stuff, whatever you into. And you don't have to get nude.
You remember back in the day when LL had I think it was the Doing It video?
Doing it.
Was it that one or was it the Who Do You Love video? I don't remember which one it was, but he was at a peep show and he was eating that apple, girl. Ooh. And there was like a divider between him and the woman, and he was, I think it was Doing It. And she wasn't naked, but she was in lingerie and she was dancing and twerking. And then the divider went down and you could see her a little bit, and then it came back up and then you could see it no more. See, listen, that's what I'm gonna do. It's gonna be chatty patty. I don't know though. What's it going for? Like, is it $25 for a membership, or is it like an annual thing, like $25 a month?
You can do like a membership fee. But I think you can charge a little bit more than 25, sis.
You think so? Because they'll be real disappointed. They get in there thinking they about to get some booty and ain't much back there.
You're giving me Nia Long vibes. So I think you should at least get your membership started about $75 to just start with a razzle dazzle.
Okay. Yes.
I like to get off because I'm trying to live a more righteous life, but Let this wine kick in a little bit more, and I'm gonna see if I log back in. I think I still got my password.
And listen, they keep on playing with this COVID, and
You need your coins. You need your coins, and you need to set up an account because COVID is out here strong.
I'm
We're
just
only in
saying
phase 1 of reopening at this point.
they're gonna pay $75 for a membership and get on there, and I'm gonna be in there doing a Tootsie Roll.
Okay, just
I hit an
you
ill
on.
butterfly and an ill Cabbage Patch. Okay, that's all I got, but I got it.
That's all you need. That's all you need. Some people is doing less than that. Okay.
But while y'all are out there, ladies, if you decide to create an OnlyFans account, be careful because there are some men out there who are jealous. I don't know if it's because ain't nobody gonna pay for their OnlyFans or what, but they will pay to access a woman's OnlyFans account. There's a guy who's doing this currently. He's paid for several women memberships to several OnlyFans pages, taken screenshots of their explicit photos, and then sent those photos to their parents. Specifically,
their neck do shit like that. That sounds like a nigga with no neck.
Big Ed. Big Ed would do something like that.
Yeah, he sound like he just lame as shit. I wish somebody would be like, "Oh, Miss Vanessa, here go a picture that Ariel posted online." My mama know who she raised. Send it to who? I'm about to give her some of the bread.
Honey, I actually have a high school friend who's on OnlyFans. Yeah, and she's into fetishes. She said, DM me or message me what your fetish is and we can work it out. I was surprised when that screenshot made its rounds in the friend circle. But listen, I'm not judging. I am not judging, honey.
Get your points by any means necessary, okay?
Do what you have to do. Are men, when stuff like this happens, so for the women who get, if this, God forbid this happens, have their photos leaked or, a video of them gets leaked, they're humiliated. Do men get as embarrassed? And if so, or if not, why not?
I really feel like men don't get embarrassed. I feel like a man will send his sex tape to his homeboys like, nigga, watch this. I feel like it's like a rite of passage, like it's a bragging right for them to be like, oh yeah, I smashed that hoe. Don't matter what kind of experience she had, she on my belt now. I hit her. She can't take it back.
It don't even matter if he was whack. Even if he wasn't even putting in any work, the fact that he hit it is all that matters.
Don't even matter.
On some Ray J stuff.
Yeah. A lot of dudes, you got to think about it. Like a lot of dudes care about their number. I don't believe in a number. Don't ask me my number because it's always 2 because I got 2 baby daddies. That's all you need to know. But a lot of guys hype up how many women they slept with. I feel like that's a thing for them. Like women try to keep it cute and try to keep it under wraps. Like, oh, I got that many bodies, whatever. Men like to hype that up. So for a man, I don't care what kind of experience she had. Did I not? I beat it, right? I hit you, right? I don't care what. I hit you, right? All right, cool. We good. On to the next.
Have you ever told a man that he didn't make you come? How did he take it?
I mean, how could you? Well, how else could you take it? You're gonna be embarrassed in the face, right? I don't know. People say I act like a nigga. People say I talk like a nigga sometimes. I don't know, but if it's not good, it's not. I'm not gonna tell you. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not gonna not tell you. Because the dude gonna tell you. I remember somebody one time was like, "Oh, you lazy." I was. Where did I go? Okay. Thanks for the experience. You did a great job. Glad to meet you. Nice to see you.
I've never told anybody that they didn't make me come. Wow. I have preserved some feelings. I sure have. And and especially, sometimes when a relationship or a situation ends and somebody tries to carry you or tries to play you to the left, and it's like, really though? Do you know the stuff I didn't say that I could have said?
That's why you got to say it. Life is too short to be bottling up experiences. Tell them people why they here, what they really didn't do.
But see, and I think that's the problem. I think a lot of women are like me. A lot of women do not give the appropriate feedback to men. Some men could take a humbling, in all honesty, because men think that it's about the number of women that you sleep with. But if you're sleeping with a bunch of women and you are laying whack pipe, you're not doing anything. Nobody's telling you, but you suck. So,
but I don't really care about the whole laying the whack pipe thing. Pipe gonna be pipe, gonna be pipe.
Nah, there's a difference.
The head game though, oh, I'm gonna humble your ass every time, especially because I dated a female. Oh, just come on up, baby. I'm picking chins up from now on. Just come on up, baby. Come on. So you don't even need to try that like that. We good, okay? Just I'm all right. I'm okay.
But see, if they can't do that, then what's the point of even letting them stick? Like you could go home at that point.
Kicking niggas out the condo like Pam.
Like
you niggas out here.
That's the warm up. What are you doing? You can't even do that. You gotta go.
Sometimes star athletes don't warm up.
Oh Lord. You know what? That's the quote this week, honey.
If I see a nigga use that, I'm gonna say you got it from Ari. Okay. Sometimes star players don't warm up. It just is what it is. They don't have to warm up, sis. So maybe that's not their ministry, but I'm gonna tell you it's not your ministry, okay, baby? This is not for you.
But you have to have one or the other. You have to have one or the other.
Or they could just not have Ari the next time. We could just end it early.
I'm following that. I'm with that. So with OnlyFans and people trying to find new ways to make money, is OnlyFans the equivalent to what Backpage was? Or, well, I mean, I don't know, because Backpage, you were able to...
Prostitution, bitch.
Yeah.
That was prostitution, bitch. You was linking, bitch.
It's all sex work, though, right?
You think so? You think you consider that sex work? I mean, are you hooking up off of OnlyFans? I didn't get that deep into it.
No, you're not hooking up on OnlyFans. But I think anything under like cam girls, porn, stripping, all of that is considered technically sex work, even if you don't physically have sex. But the fact that you're turning someone on or creating a sexual fantasy, it's all under that sex work box, but there's levels to it, right? So when it comes to sex work in general, and I don't know, see, I'm walking the fine line and I don't want to be disrespectful because I don't know enough about sex work in the terms of prostitution and things like that and escorting and things like that to really have an opinion. So I don't want to offend anyone, but I think there's a difference between prostitution and things like that and stripping.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
But prostitution or escorting, all of those things come with a really negative connotation. But then if you watch porn, what's the difference?
Nah, sis, that's a difference.
There's a difference between porn and prostitution?
Yeah.
Share. What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I feel like, can't you get a tax ID if you're a porn star?
Yes, you can. But see, if you legalize prostitution, if prostitution were legalized, I mean, the people at the Bunny Ranch probably have a tax ID.
You're right. I don't know, sister. I think we're gonna have to dive in deeper. I might have to do some investigation studies. We'll have to discuss that later, and I'll figure out how to go. It's like, no, I used to follow somebody called Pretty Ho on Twitter about 2 years ago. But that's before she got locked up for prostitution, and she was an escort, and she was making buku's money. But I feel like to be a prostitute, you have to turn a lot of tricks back to back to back, because you're like charging low fees, sometimes high fees. If you're a prostitute, it's more like a wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Let's get as many customers as I can, fulfill this quota for today. An escort is a little different, because I thought escorts were more like your old ass grandpa need a date. He gonna pay you $500 to do an appearance. You may or may not have to do a sexual act at the end of the night.
Right.
Strippers in the body are exotic dancers. Exotic being they take their clothes off.
Right.
They gonna pop it. A lot of them are really strong. They're really athletic.
Mhm.
You know,
There is an art to stripping if you're doing it right, honey.
and it's beautiful. I love a good strip. I used to live in a strip club. I was a strip club goddess back in 2013. I used to stay up in there throwing my little ones. But anyway, so I feel like that if you're not taking it to the next level, if you're strictly just dancing, that's completely different than, all right, I'm dancing, but I'm also doing private parties that lead to me prostituting on the side and making this bag. I don't know, sis. We gonna have to. I don't. Who do we call? Who do we talk to figure this out?
I don't know. I think that might be an interesting interview for another episode. If we know anyone, or if our listeners out there either are in sex work or know anyone in sex work, let us know, because that would be a really good conversation, because we're we don't really have an informed opinion about it either way, other than what I know as stigmas that go along with prostitution. Of course, the pros of legalizing prostitution is safety for the prostitutes, because now they don't necessarily have to go through a pimp. A lot of prostitutes don't report if they get sexually assaulted, or if they get beaten or what have you, or robbed or what have you, because they have to admit that they were doing something illegal, and no one takes them seriously, because it's like, well, that's what you get because you were out here, doing X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. And I do think that, there should be some level of protection for women who are out in the streets that way. Yes, it's easy to say, oh, just don't be out in the streets, but we could say that to anybody. Not everybody is fortunate enough to do things the way that everyone else has in society. And I can understand that what do they say? That's the oldest book in the game, or the oldest job in the game, so maybe.
I feel like everybody is a prostitute at some point in their life.
Wait a minute now. You have to explain that one to me.
Sis, you get a husband, and your husband taking care of you, you throwing pussy at the end of the night.
I'm going to throw it in a circle.
Okay. Your boyfriend who just bought you that bracelet for Christmas, what you did at the end of the night at Christmas time?
I mean,
exchange.
But that's mutual.
Okay, and prostitutes is mutually getting paid.
Okay. And that's one. So maybe this goes along the lines of how I feel about sugar daddies. So I have friends who are not interested in dating at the moment because they're doing whatever they need to do with their careers, getting their money. They don't like the dating game, whatever. So they are dating men who have money. And we always assume a sugar daddy is some old, crotchety, rickety old man. Sometimes, nope, don't have to be. Sometimes they're younger. Sometimes it's a woman. Hello.
Miss the days, honey. Miss it. A woman gonna take good care of you. I don't care what nobody says.
Listen, a lot of us have been sugar mamas. We just don't admit it. Do you know how many women have taken care of a man because he has some really good peen?
Oh, so he's gonna put me out like this?
We've been some sugar mamas. I am not going to deny that.
I can't deny it, girl.
But I came to my senses, and I will never do that again. But anyway,
they say never say never.
No, I'm gonna just be reciprocal in my relationship. You take care of me, I'm gonna take care of you.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
But so the female friends that or acquaintances that I have who have those relationships with people who have money and take care of them, I look at it like, well, at least they're getting something out of it, because how many of us have dated and when it ends, it's like that person not only sucked your energy, sucked money out of you, sucked the life out of you, and they never poured anything back. Okay. I mean, I can't blame them. At least they're getting something out of it.
Yeah. Can't knock it till you try it. Can't frown upon it unless you did it. I can't blame you.
Definitely don't judge. So, the escorts, strippers, cam girls, if it's all under sex work, I know that there's levels to it, but I definitely hope that all of you all who are participating in that type of work are being safe with whatever you're doing. And, especially in this day and age, if you're doing something that you are afraid of being exposed, you might not want to do it. And, that's no shade. And that's not to say that you don't deserve protection, but people like to take pictures or a screenshot or, and once stuff like that is out there, it's out there forever. So you want to be careful.
That's the only reason I didn't keep my account.
Because you were scared somebody was going to see you?
Obviously, because I would have kept that thing. You know how much they would pay for a cute BBW girl? And I don't even like calling myself a BBW bitch, but I would be a BBW on that joint, and I would have really marketed myself. I'm a marketing guru.
There was a female mechanic that actually got fired because she had an OnlyFans account.
Don't knock her paper. She could have been given oil changes and blowjobs. They is fucking rude. They is rude.
You said a tune-up? Did you say a tune-up, sis?
Did you need a tune-up, boo? Because I'm coming through to tune you up.
Oh my gosh. Well, now that we've gotten all of that out of the way, we're still limited as women when it comes to sex. We can't talk about how we feel. Well, we're not supposed to talk about how we feel sexually, how many people we've been with, what we like. Men want women who are virgins to everyone else, but with them have all of this experience, and that does not match. You're not going to get experience. That girl ain't going to do that thing you like if she hasn't tried it elsewhere. Like, and no offense, fellas, but y'all are not the best teachers. So
my best teacher was a female.
There you go.
Honestly. Yeah. There's no way, but that is true. Like, a guy will be like, oh, I can't date you because my homeboy talked to you, or I can't do this because I heard blase, or you messed with this many people and my girl can only mess with 2 people before she messed with me. So listen, honey, how you think people get experienced in life, period? You got to date multiple people. You got to try new food. You got to do all this stuff just to know what you like in general. How you expect me not to have done anything and know what I would like from you?
Right.
It don't make sense. It don't add up. 2 + 2 is not 4 in this equation. I don't understand.
Exactly. I completely agree. Now, Ari, what would you do if one of your children, say, sex work, some sex work is legalized. So say one of your children came to you and said that they wanted to be a sex worker, whether that be a stripper or a cam girl or anything in between. What would your response be?
You want to put me on First 48 today or tomorrow?
Well, goddamn. And why did your train of thought go there?
Because I don't want that for my kids. That's not something I want for my kids. I feel like I'm laying a foundation for them not to have to do some shit like that. Not saying it's not bad, because a lot of girls I know, a couple girls do it actually that I know. But I just don't want that for my kids. I want my kids to do something different. Right. I don't knock it, but that's just not the type of shit that I'm teaching. I feel like you're sitting on a gold mine, and then you're going to love what you bring to the table. You ain't got to do all that. You're going to have a nice head on your shoulders. We're going to make sure that you're straight financially until you can go do it yourself. You ain't never got to leave my crib until you're ready. I'm laying all that out now so that you ain't got to do nothing like that.
I look at it the same way as drug dealers, right? Like, yes, we know some, and they do what they do to provide for their families, and it's quick and it's easy money. But a lot of them have sent their children to private schools, have sent them to the best colleges, and don't want that life for them. So I would venture to say, I can't speak on behalf of sex workers, but I would venture to say it's very similar, because that line of work can be dangerous, and it can come with that negative stigma that can follow you. And I would venture to say that they wouldn't necessarily want that for their child, even if they did understand, I
don't think so either. I don't think anything about drug dealing is easy.
Right.
I don't think like a prostitute would want their child to go and do the same thing when they know that's not an easy life. You got to watch over your shoulder. You got to make sure you don't get robbed. You got to make sure you don't catch diseases. You got people that's only looking at you because they know what you do, and you got to make sly comments, and it's people looking down on you for what you do, but you're just trying to provide for your family. That ain't no way to live.
Yeah.
You might be living good, but you're not having peace by living like that. And I don't want that for my kids. I want my kids to be at peace as much as possible. That's what I'm providing them, peace.
100% agree.
But do you really feel like talking about sex is taboo now in 2020 between females? When I talk about sex like a nigga, if I want to talk about it, I'm going to talk about it regardless. I've always done that.
I think we're moving past it, but I still see a little bit of it because I see in certain circles how men feel about the City Girls and Megan Thee Stallion and these women who are very sexual and talk about I'm a F him and then I'm gonna take his card when I leave and da 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 da. Men don't like to hear women talk the same way they've been talking for years. Because how many times has a male rapper talked about, leaving a woman with a wet ass and going on about their way? And a lot of the female rappers have talked about sex in the past, but it's, in a way that still glorifies men or is still male centered. So they talk about sex, but they talk about sex from the aspect of what they're good at and how they can please another man, versus women now are talking about what are you going to do for me and how you're going to do it. I mean, it started with Janae talking about he go eat it like the groceries. So it's not so much about how we're going to please them. Now it's about how you're going to please me and how I'm going to take your credit card when we're done and go run up a tab. So I see it. And I think that whenever women are talking about something like that in a way that benefits men, men are cool with it. But the moment that we talk about it in a way that it's just gratifying for us and it doesn't fall under, pleasing them, and we don't care that we're pleasing them or not. Hot Girl Summer had nothing to do with men. We were out here trying to have fun. We weren't worried about trying to please them. They hated it. They
thought it was a grounds for hoeing.
Right. They hated it. So I think that's...
take the taboo out of talking about it, because I'm going to talk about it. Filthy. Whenever I want to. I don't feel like censoring yourself is something that you should do. Like, it's certain situations that you need to be censored. Of course, if I'm in a business setting, I'm not going to be out here being crazy and vulgar. I know how to conduct myself. But if me and you having girls talking, I want to talk about sex, I'm talking about sex.
But between us girls, it's always been okay, I think. I mean,
I'm telling you exactly what I want, how I want it. If you're not doing it, baby, and this is why. You talk a good game, but listen, you not finna make me do what my shorty used to do. You can't do that. Period.
Can you teach? Do you think you can teach?
I'm a great teacher. I'm a great teacher.
Yeah.
But nigga, are you gonna learn? Because you probably not, because you probably got an ego. If I break your ego because you can't do what you say you're gonna do, you're gonna feel some type of way, baby. Period.
Well, there it is.
I had to sit back on that because I said, no. I feel like sex being taboo is like that 50s and 60s, like, don't talk about it, Susie, because your husband doesn't like it. Girl, we got rights out here. We can talk about whatever we want to. Put on a pair of pants.
And the crazy thing is the stuff that they judge us for talking about are the things that they like.
Right.
They don't want anybody to know that we do it, but those are the specific things that they want us to do. Hello?
I'm finna talk about it. Let's have a series on Let's Talk Sex. I'm finna talk about it.
I like it.
Slut walk. I'm finna talk about it.
And we should invite sex workers so they can give us a different perspective. I want to know how they feel.
Okay, I'm gonna let you do solo interviews because I'm probably gonna side eye you.
Don't do that.
All right, sister, look, my wine ain't hitting tonight. It's wearing off. It's our favorite part of the show. It's time to be here. What's up? What's good?
Okay, unpopular opinion this week. My unpopular opinion this week is going to be related to our episode tonight and 90 Day Fiance. Because I'm catching up on 90 Day Fiance, and Big Ed was making a big deal about his girlfriend not sharing her dating history with him. He kept grilling her about who did she used to date, and she wouldn't tell him. I mean, she didn't feel like it was relevant to their relationship now. So he said, and this is after they had already been intimate. Well, if you're not going to tell me about your dating or who you used to date, then I think, you need to go and get an STD check. So, of course, she was offended because of how that conversation came about. And she said, we should go. We both should go get tested. And he told her pretty much, you go first.
If he know he ain't nobody.
Listen, so
that's terrible.
My unpopular opinion this week is the numbers in the history don't matter.
Ooh, talk about it, walk about it, sis. What was that about? Did not say it again.
Listen, the numbers in the history don't matter.
You don't.
Because there are things that in your previous relationships, if you've taken the time to do your work, that you've learned from. You know, you don't always go from relationship to relationship carrying baggage. And who I was in this relationship with this person is not going to be who I am, because different people bring different things out of you. So you don't need to know what exactly happened. You just keep being you. Stop trying to anticipate what's going to go wrong, or basing what you do off of what somebody else used to do. It doesn't matter. That was before you. That's ancient history. And as the young lady said, it's in the past. It's not going to happen again. It's not going to come back around. It's done. Right? And the numbers don't matter at all, period. Because at the end of the day, if we are together, nobody that I've ever been with and nobody that you've ever been with can threaten what we have if what we have is solid. Now, if you aren't solid, then that's on you. That ain't got nothing to do with who's in your past. And if I'm not solid, that's on me. It has nothing to do with who I was with in the past. So what happened before you, what happened before me, ain't nobody's business. Now, if it was something completely traumatic that needs to be discussed, that's one thing. But sometimes people just want to be in your business so that they can know, so that they can compare. And if I'm with you, there ain't no comparison.
Oh, sis, you said a mouthful, and I agree with everything that you said. I told you my number is always 2 because I have 2 baby daddies. I don't care. I could talk about all my exes.
All 2 of them. All 2 of them. Both of them.
Both of them. So it is what it is. 2. How many? 2. 2 today. Unpopular opinion this week. So there's been a lot of buzz in my inbox about me having family time this week because I've been co-parenting successfully with my favorite baby Zaddy, because he's in town doing what he's supposed to do, which is take care of his kids. Okay. So my unpopular opinion is people can co-parent and not fuck. I know that them texts has been coming through. You having family time? Yes, we actually are, because we're a fucking family, because we have the same fucking kid. Oh my God, that makes them us family. But it don't always mean that y'all gotta have something going on every time y'all link up. It don't have to be no sneaky link. Sometimes we really coming together just for the kids.
People aren't used to that. People are used to friction. People are used to, if y'all hang in, then you doubling back. And I think that you said a word when you said we're still family because we have children. At the end of the day, y'all are always going to be family. That don't stop at 18 when your child turns 18. Y'all will always be linked for the rest of your lives because you created something together. So you will always be family, period.
Yeah. Why we can't be under the same roof chilling? Like that's okay. We can do that. We don't have to always be out here sneaking and dissing. It don't have to be like that. I know if we want it to be like that and we want to take it there, of course we can take it there. That's on us. That's our business. But why y'all checking for that? Y'all ain't never seen no shit like that before. That's my motherfucking dog.
No, people are used to dysfunction, sis.
I mean, this nigga that seen me have a baby on my whole ass vagina. That's my nigga for life.
Listen, if you were in a room with me where I had my legs were propped up on that table, we forever family. Period.
We can fall out today. We'll be good tomorrow because you didn't see me give birth. Okay. Yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, that is our show this week. But if you love us like I know you do, make sure you subscribe to us. We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, and honestly, probably any platform that you're listening on, we're on. So make sure you subscribe. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. We are at On Muvas Podcast. That's ONMUVAS podcast. Engage with us there. We're also on YouTube. So On Muvas Podcast on YouTube as well. Ari, where can the people find you, sis?
It's ARILAWAN _ that's Ari Lawan _ on all social media.
And I am Chatty Patty DC on all social media. So make sure you're following us. Leave us some comments and, subscribe because we drop every Wednesday.
Oh, because Wednesdays belong to the mothers. Please tell them and tell them again, sis. Wednesdays belong to us.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.